Hello everyone, welcome to another Versus video. I am BBD, joined by
Christopher VanMeter.
Christopher VanMeter. That's a long full name for you. BBD is my full name. Just 3 letters. But anyway, we have some sweet standard action with some Journey into Nyx cards. With Journey to Nyx is incorrect, but Journey into Nyx is correct. Thought I'd clarify that out. But we have some sweet Journey into Nyx cards, such as Nyx Fleece Ram, which is in my sideboard, and that's about it.
I mean, it's a pretty sweet card.
No, no, actually,
it's not very bad.
That's just terrible. But actually, my deck is built around a Johnny, so I'm excited to play that. And CVM's deck's built around dealing damage to himself, so I think he's excited to play that.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
But we're gonna start off with the old basic land game. So CVM's got a pad and a pen. I have no idea what he's planning.
Because what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put my guesses down before you even pick one.
Oh wow, that's just cold. So now I have to judge how long did it take him to write these down. So
here are the guesses, and we'll hold them up so the camera can see.
All right. Well, I can't see, so
what the guesses are gonna be.
We'll see if we can get an old stump. And I actually think I have to stick to a standby favorite with this land here. We'll see if that stumps you.
All right, Swamp.
All right, well, no, it did not. So, Swamp Plains Island. Okay.
The old Esper.
Yep.
Old Esper. I'll go first, and we'll see how much damage our opening hand can do to ourselves.
Probably a lot. I really hope it's a lot.
It's starting to look like a lot. Just 3 cards. Okay. Well, we have 1 castable spell. And the only 2 lands in our hand are Mana Confluence, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and mulligan this hand.
All right, well, Mana Confluence off to a great start in terms of power. My hand is pretty sweet. We actually have a bunch of different combos. We have 1 full combo in our hand here.
Jeez, already?
Yeah, we have just a full combo here, so hopefully we get a chance to get that thing rolling and see how that one pans out for us.
I feel like being on the draw is actually an advantage in this matchup.
I actually don't think that's true, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
I mean, it could be. Like, I have just Thoughtseize and a bunch of removal. You want an extra card, you're not going to outspeed me. All right, let's see how much damage this hand will do to us.
I hope it's 6.
Well, I only have 1 land, and can't keep it.
All right.
All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get a keepable 5.
Best 5 he's ever seen.
Well, we have 25 lands in the deck. I wish this was a temple. I don't think I can ship this back and go to 4. Because if we happen to hit 2 lands, we're in very good shape. And even 1 land could give us some protection, so I'll keep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and scry with our temple, and we want to basically draw some lands, so I'm going to ship that non-land card to the bottom of our deck.
Go.
All right. I will shock myself down to 18 and play Sylvan Caryatid, and you're up.
We drew a land. Go ahead.
All right. And we did not draw a land, so I think we just play Kiora's Follower so that we can play some other stuff if we draw lands next turn. You're up. Oop, drop that in my lap.
Okay. So that was actually not bad. So we drew a Temple of Malady. We'll get to scry. And ooh, I think this is probably a good card. Ooh. But I just don't think that we're going to have time for it to be relevant. And being as he missed his land drop this turn, his hand just has to be full of gas because that's all his deck is. So we're going to ship that to the bottom. And then we're going to Dreadbore the Follower. Go ahead.
All right, so hopefully we hit a land here. And we did. So I think we can use this opportunity to just play Jace and kind of get Jace going. We're going to go ahead and minus him. Courser, Kiora's Follower.
see here. So like if I split courser follower, he's just going to take the courser follower 100%. So I think that I'd rather just give him a choice.
Okay, well, we'll just take the double courser and just go with the actual card advantage versus Kiyora's follower there. So, and then that's going to be it for us.
Well, we didn't draw a land. So I can either just cast this and not do anything else, or I can cast this and try and hope to hit a land so that I can chain it into this, which I think I want to do. So we're going to read some bones.
Okay.
Man. I kind of want to keep one of these, so that I could cast 2 next turn. Or if I draw a land from the blank card, then I can cast it. So we have 3 Overgrown Tombs and 2 Blood Crypts left in the deck that can cast it. Only 5. It's not pretty good odds. I think they were going to be better off shipping them both, which is probably wrong, but we'll see. Alright, we'll draw 2. Oh, I forgot about this card. This can also cast it. Man, had I kept it, it would have panned out.
So you're at 17.
17, I'm going to go to 15, and I thought it's easy.
Boo. All right, we have an Archangel, 2 Coursers, and Elspeth, and we have a Johnny Sage Voral.
Jeez.
So a Johnny Sage Voral was the combo that we opened in our opening hand, but I have a feeling we may be losing some of this.
Alright, well, man, these cards all do cool stuff.
Agreed.
So he's going to have to minus his Jace unless he draws a land to play a Johnny or Archangel. I think that a Johnny is probably the scariest of all of them. So we're going to take the Johnny.
Boo.
The card's good. Only costing 5 is a huge boon. Go ahead.
It is indeed a huge boon. Oh, well. So, well, yeah. I think we just minus the Jace here. Jace, Temple, Kiyora's follower.
Let's put them like this.
Alright, well, I'll take the Kiyora's follower and the Jace. I'll cast Sylvan Caryatid and Kiyora's follower. Say go.
Okay. So here I can use, so I can cast either this or this, and they both get me 1 card deeper, essentially. But I think that I'd rather have this on mine now.
The Courser Prefix.
So we're going to Connections on our Mana Confluence.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, we're going to pay a life.
Alright, so you're at 14.
To draw a card, not for a mana.
Either way, he's paying a life.
And it's a land. So look at that.
Another Mana Confluence.
And I'll pass the turn.
Alright, come on, deck. Well, that's a good one. That is a sweet one. I'm gonna just start by casting a Corsair Crewfix and see what that yields for us. Unfortunately, it is not a land. And past that point, I'm just going to cast a Voral of the Hull Blade. And we'll pass the turn to you.
Okay. So I think that we just want to start by casting this. We'll play our own Corsair.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to pay a life to draw a card.
13. Lucky.
Yeah, I suppose. Alright, well, we're going to gain a life.
14. Well, that is actually pretty good.
I'm going to take 2, go to 12, and play that Caryatid that I drew.
Well, that mortar seems pretty good against us, so.
And then it'll be your turn.
Alright, so we're going to draw Elspeth and hope there's a land here. Yes. Alright. Well, he has a Mizium Mortars, and we would like to dodge that as much as we possibly can. So I'm going to go ahead and cast this Archangel of Thune. And I'm going to play this land and trigger both of these guys. Well, I guess I first have to... Let's see, how does that work? I guess I can trigger them all separately.
Well, this isn't going to happen until this resolves.
Right. Yeah, so these trigger at the same time, and I get to choose which one I want to do first. Does that mean I get to see the top card, or...?
Like, once this comes into play and these triggers are on the stack,
yeah.
like, you get to see this before you decide which one goes on the stack first.
Okay, well, it doesn't, I guess, matter that much, because I'm going to keep the Hallowed Fountain on top. I'm going to gain 1 life, so I'm at 19, which puts a counter on all my guys. So that at least puts 3 of these out of Mizium Mortar range. And we're going to leave the land on top. And let's see here. I don't really think that I can necessarily attack, since he could just block. So I guess I can get in for 2 points of damage if I swing. So none of my guys can die. So we'll go ahead and attack with the team here.
Actually, you'll get in for 3 points.
3 points of damage.
I can't block a 3-power guy.
Yep.
So block like that.
All right, you're at 9.
9.
And you're up.
All right. Well, let's start by drawing a card.
Okay, so you go to 8.
I think that this is, like, rarely before have I been like, man, I want multiple Corsairs in play, but like in this setup, having multiple Corsairs is going to be sweet.
Yeah, you'll be able to offset a lot of that life loss.
Okay, so I think what we need to do here at this point is use these 2. So we're just going to downfall the Archangel.
Okay.
I'm going to go to
6.
6. And we're going to dreadbore the courser. Yeah, I want to keep these guys back to be able to block. Or actually, we can even do one better here. Since I don't think that those caryatids are going to actually matter, I think that I might just want to kill that follower. Yeah.
So you're
So I'm
gonna
going to go to 5.
Okay. And then mortars the follower.
Mortars the follower. And then it'll be your turn.
No, my creature is.
So instead of using 1 spell to kill all of your guys, I had to use 3 to kill 3.
All right, that Archangel did some
Archangel
work.
is a good card.
All right, well, I'm gonna shock myself to 17, and I'm gonna cast a Johnny Mentor of Heroes.
All right.
You're at 5 life.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put 3 counters on Vorl, and I'll attack for 5.
Didn't see that one coming.
No one does.
I guess I have to block.
All right, and I will play that Sage of Hours. And pass the turn to you.
You have how many cards?
4.
Okay. Oh, I guess you'll have to flip the next one. Man, I was expecting an Elspeth there, not an Ajani.
Johnny's a good one. It's a real good one.
Johnny is a very good one.
Were you expecting Vorl to be bashing for 5?
I was not expecting World to be bashing for 5, that's for sure. Right, so I think that my hope here is that he just bricks for a couple turns. So
The old Hopi Bricks plan.
yes, I think I have to do this for the full mount and end up going to 1.
All right, so you take
I'm going to take 3,
3.
go to 2,
Interactos for
for
5.
5, and redirect the damage to a Johnny.
That's unfortunate.
Go ahead. Good thing those caryatids can't attack.
All right, there's a Jace. I don't know if that constitutes...
Sweet draw.
Is that bricking or or not? We'll minus the Jace. And it's a temple, a forest, and a temple.
Green-white temple by itself.
Okay, well, I'll take the other 2.
Yeah.
And I will scry, and it is a basic land forest, which I will immediately ship to the bottom. And I will attack on in. Okay, so you go to 1.
Yep.
Your turn.
I did a lot of damage to myself.
You did do a lot of damage to yourself. Are Sage of Hours and Vorl going to win by just attacking? No
possible.
combo, just straight attacking? All right.
All right, well, we need any land here.
Any land here. All right, Courser. Does that count?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, so you get to go
So I'm
to
gonna go to 2.
2.
We'll scry. I think I want to leave that one on top. No, I can't. I gotta bottom it.
Oh, big D.
Go to 1.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's see if I can hit a Johnny and just natural him here. Oh, that's a pretty good one.
Hit the 3rd of Johnny.
I'm gonna play a Courser of Crewfix.
I wonder if minusing the Jace first would have been better.
I think playing the Courser first is right. I'll minus the Jace now. So it's Sylvan, Fathom Mage, and Temple of Plenty.
Fathom Mage by itself?
Yeah. Old Fathom Mage by itself. Well, we're definitely going to take the Fathom Mage. Put those two on the bottom. And another Voral. We'll gain a life. 18. Play Fathom Mage. And Voral's going to continue his path of destruction here. Yep. All right. Go. Don't call it a comeback.
Well, I am just dead to you attacking with your creatures next turn.
That's right. These guys are winning the game, not with their abilities, but by being 1/1 for 4. So, all right, we are back for game number 2.
I'll be on the play.
You would.
And what a surprise, we're actually going to keep our 7 this time.
I don't even know what to say. We're actually going to keep our 7 as well, which is probably not a surprise, since I love to keep 7.
So I'm going to start off with this temple. It's based off our hand. We actually have an idea of what we're looking for. And that is not it. So I'm actually going to move that to the bottom.
All right.
Go ahead.
Boom. All right, I'm going to scry with a temple, and that's actually not what we're looking for. We're going to bottom that as well. Send it right on back.
So here we have an option of leading with this or this. And, you know, whenever we see a green producing mana, we have to think that they might have this in their deck, which is just going to completely brick wall this. So I don't think that leading on this is where we want to be. I'd much rather just develop my mana. So we're going to play a Blood Crypt and go to 18 and play a Caryatid and
Sure.
pass.
All right, draw. Not it. We will scry. And we're just going to go ahead and bottom that. That's not exactly where we want to be right now. So, you're up.
All right, sweet. So he hasn't done anything yet. And that was a good card to draw. So I think that I just want to play this Courser, and we're going to start working the top of our library.
Work it. Lucky.
So we're going to gain a life, and we're going to scry, and actually I'm going to ship this temple to the bottom. If I didn't have another land in hand, I would definitely keep it on top. But because I have another land in hand, which is going to let me start to curve out the rest of my hand, I'm just going to ship this because we just want to keep drawing gas.
Good. Oh, Pelucranos.
Ask
All
for
right,
gas,
well, we drew
and
this,
gas you
which
shall
is
receive.
not really what we want. So we're just going to jam this guy and then jam this and scry. And I'm going to go ahead and keep that on top, which will help us cast some of these sweet things in our hand. You're up.
Will you block if I attack with this?
Probably.
All right. It's not very nice. So we drew our Pelucranos. And we have a downfall on top. So we're going to take 1 and go to 18. We're just going to start attacking with this dragon.
Boo. All right, well, we're at 16.
And I'll pass the turn.
All right, well, we're going to draw this card we knew was on top of our deck. And I think we just this is a tough decision, to be honest. Very tough one. I think it's Jace, though. And we'll go ahead and minus the Jace, just to try to dig for some stuff.
So I imagine that his game plan here is to try and get to an Elspeth as fast as he possibly can. So, because he tapped that Caryatid, it means it's going to leave him open to an attack from this Courser Prefix. So unless he thinks that he's just fine taking, you know, letting me kill his Jace with my Courser, he probably doesn't have another land in his hand. Or if he does, it's one that's going to come into play tapped. So I'm going to gamble on that, and I'm going to split the 2 Coursers and the Forest.
Okay. Well, the reason we actually tapped it is because we only have 1 blue source, but
Oh, well,
yeah.
that's also another reason.
Yeah. interesting. I think we take the 2. Yeah, I think we just take the 2 here. Ship that to the bottom. And we'll play the land that's in our hand. And say go.
Okay, so we're definitely going to be attacking him and the Jace. And then I think that I want to cast this and be able to hold up this mana and the ability to use this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to send 4 at you and 2 at the Jace.
Alright, so I got on 12.
And then we're going to shock ourselves and gain a life, so go to 17.
Yep.
And then we're going to cast a Scavenging Ooze.
Okay.
And I'll pass.
So he has Downfall open, unfortunately. I'm still just going to play this Courser. Sage of Hours. I'll scry and gain a life. So 13, and I'll put that on the bottom. So we don't really want that. Archangel's not bad. I'll just pass turn after that.
Okay, well, end step, we're going to downfall that guy.
Okay.
And then eat it with the Ooze.
Okay.
So I'll go to 18. And you have how many in hand?
6.
So are you just dead to my dragon?
Yeah, I'm just dead.
Okay. I was like, am I missing something?
Yeah.
Next card.
All right, so we are back for our sideboarding. CVM's making a lot of changes, a lot of sweeping changes. I'm making just a simple 2. Unfortunately, Sage of Hours has to go against his deck that has like 30 pieces of removal.
So you're cutting the 2 cards that actually beat me in game 1.
Correct. Yep. We're still keeping 1 Voral for max value, but I'm trimming on the second one since synergy-laden cards are not as good against his deck. I'd rather just have raw power cards because, yeah, he's like 80 pieces of removal. So
well, that's why Planeswalkers are so good in Standard right now, is the format is just like Thoughtseize and removal.
So I had the option of bringing in Aetherling, in my opinion, Aetherling, Angel Serenity, or Negate. Because Detention Sphere I don't like because he has Decay. It just seems, and he has Vraska and stuff too, it just seems like I'm asking to get beaten by trying to rely on D-Sphere, and it also doesn't deal with
Dragon.
Stormbreath Dragon. And neither of these deal with Stormbreath Dragon either, so I figured I don't care too much about these cards, and with him attacking my hand, it might be hard to get to that point in the game. So I'm going to go opt for a little cheaper answer, Negate, which I think can help counter some big Rakdos returns or things like that.
Definitely. As far as for changes that I'm making, I'm bringing in the last Mizium Mortars, or the third Mizium Mortars. I don't have a full 4, because like all of his guys have 4 toughness until he starts actually getting to enhance them. So if I have a chance to overload a Mortars, it's going to be awesome. Plus, it's just a way to kill like an early Voral or an early Courser of Crewfix, but also has more value in the late game. 3 Doomblades, just more removal against his deck full of dudes. 2 Duress, since his deck is dudes and Planeswalkers. And then a Sire of Insanity. I noticed that, up until the point where he actually just completely took control of the game, he always just had between like 4 and 6 or 7 cards in his hand. So I think that if I'm able to like stick an early Sire, it can be game over. Especially games on the play, with the Caryatid, I can play it on on turn 5, and at that point, like he might have a Planeswalker in play. But if he doesn't, then like it's just going to be game over. Especially if I can go like end step, downfall your Planeswalker, untap, play Sire of Insanity. Then he just has the chance to steal games. Plus, I don't really like Paula Kranos here in this matchup. and I wanted to cut one, and I figured I might as well just swap the other one for Sire of Insanity. I'm shaving on a Scavenging Ooze and an Abrupt Decay, just because we have these removal spells that will do the same thing as Abrupt Decay, but they also kill like Archangel of Thune, whereas Decay does not. And I'm also cutting the 3 Underworld connections because I really just want to be using my mana every turn to cast spells. I don't want to be using the lands to draw cards. So that's what we have Courser and Temples for, is to filter through our deck. So we're just going to go ahead and move the connections to the board. This year I don't want to try and play a long card advantage game against him because his Planeswalkers are going to end up winning.
Yeah, they will. All right, cool. All right, well, let's come back and jump into game number 3.
Game number 3.
All right, game number 3. Who will rise victorious? Well, I'm seeing a lot of bad. Yeah, I could be extremely greedy and keep this hand, or I could mulligan this hand because this hand's kind of bad. So it's 1 land, doesn't even cast our Kiyora's Follower, and he has a million removal spells in his deck, so I think we're going to go ahead and mulligan.
So this is one of those hands where I'm actually very happy to be on the draw with this hand instead of being on the play. And I mean, there's a chance that I just break and die, but I think it has the potential to be very good, so I'm going to keep.
All right, back for 6 of the best Magic cards I've ever seen. Well, these are some ugly. This is an ugly 5, so that's clearly not the case. But I'm gonna keep it anyway. We're just gonna hope to get there.
Come on, I went to 5 in the first game.
So I'll go ahead and scry, and we have to ship that to the bottom because that is not gonna get cast. So go. Yeah, this hand is pretty miserable. So we're gonna need some serious help.
So I'm going to lead with this land.
Okay.
Go ahead. So that I can cast this if I need to.
All right, well, I'm going to shock myself and play a Scavenging Ooze, so you're up.
All right, well, Mortars the Scavenging Ooze.
He is dead.
Go ahead.
All right, come on, deck. Go. Wasn't what we were looking for.
All right, 18.
You're at 6.
I played this tapped.
Oh, yeah, you
and I
did.
used a forest.
Yeah, you're right.
The forest.
Lucky.
Courser.
Yep.
Your turn.
Vraska. All right, well, that's a land, but unfortunately it doesn't help us go.
Missy Mortars. All right, well, let's attack for 2.
18.
You should be at 16. You shocked yourself to play the use?
Oh, yeah. That's why I had 18 down. I wrote the life totals in the wrong spot.
All right, well, we're just going to keep doing this.
Okay.
And we're going to gain 2 life. Go to 20. And I'm going to scry this Mortars to the bottom, actually. And I'll pass.
All right. And we'll go to 14. Your go.
Smells like a Horizon Chimera.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Too bad I got the Doomblade. And that's a Mana Confluence. So we're going to gain 2.
22.
All right, we're going to attack.
I'm at 10.
All right, now I'm going to cast Read the Bones.
Okay.
So it's going to end up putting me at 20. Now, you get to see the top card, but not the bottom card. They're still on top of my deck, technically.
For scrying, yeah.
Okay. So this is what we have. And then you'll be able to see the top card before I actually draw everything, right?
I'll be able to see both the cards you draw, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're going to put this on the bottom. And we're going to draw a dragon and a Thoughtseize.
Oh, that's kind of gross.
which are two very good cards. And then I'll pass the turn.
Oh, I'll cast Horizon Chimera.
Alright, well, I'm going to Doom Blade it.
Alright.
And I go to 19.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is not it. So we'll just go ahead and play this Horizon, or the Sylvan Caryatid. We already tried the Horizon Chimera. And say go.
Alright, well, we're going to play the Mana Confluence and gain 2.
21.
Then we're going to Thoughtseize you. So I'll be at 19 and you're at 10, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's a whole bunch of Elspeth.
Yep. Games where I don't have one of these types of creatures early in the game,
Yeah.
it's much worse for me. It would have been, I mean, I had the Courser all along.
Because you also didn't have a 2-mana guy last game, right?
Yeah, correct. So
Yeah.
it's 2 in a row, yeah. And like this game, I had the Courser, but I just only have one green source, so it's a little unfortunate.
Okay. So I think that here we just want to take one of the Elspeths. And it's going to leave you with Elspeth, Courser, and Angel.
Pretty sure that I actually have 0 outs right now.
We'll play a dragon.
Yep.
And I'll go to 17. And then we'll do 6 damage to you.
Yep, I'm at 4.
Good.
And I can either play Elspeth and kill your dragon and die, or just die. So I'm dead.
Alright.
Alright, we are back for game 4. Hopefully this one will go a little bit better, but it is not looking that way. So, again, we have just one land and a bunch of 4-drops, so we will mulligan.
Well, we're going to keep this hand. It definitely is along the same vein of our hand from last game, where like we still need to draw some stuff to make the hand better. But as is, we actually can already cast a couple of our spells, and both of these are very good, so we're just going to see if we can get there.
Alright, back for 6. Come on, deck. Ah, that is so close.
I don't have Thoughtseize, if it makes it even easier.
So we have one land, Sylvan.
Ouch.
Like, our hand is great if we have a second land.
Is it a temple?
No.
They never are.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they never are. Yeah, I actually think that this hand is a keep. Because it's so good if we draw the lands. And we can probably afford to miss for like 1 turn. So, I know this hand seems extremely greedy, but like mulliganing to 5 against his Rakdos return deck, especially the way that our deck functions where we need like a mass of cards to start doing stuff, I just think it's a bad idea. So, I'm going to try it and hope for the best. Just draw Thoughtseize.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's best if I do this. Take 3.
Alright, well, that is definitely going.
Yeah, so you have a Johnny, Jace, ×2, Courser. Oh, wow, yeah, if you draw a land, the hand is very good. Good.
Oh, we would have gotten there, so you're up. Fortunately, he had the Thoughtseize.
So we're going to play our Temple and Scry. And this is a very good card, so we'll keep it. Good.
There she is, looking for Kiora.
Where Kiora at?
Not in the deck. Not in the deck.
Where Kiora at? Alright, so we're going to play this. Actually. So, and you have how many cards? 4?
Yep.
So I have to decide if I think I just want to get rid of that now instead of waiting. Yeah, that's just going to be better. So I'll take 1 and we'll mortar set.
Okay.
The 16, go ahead.
Go.
Alright, so I'll go to 15. 16. Go.
Go.
Attack.
Yep, I'm at 18.
Go ahead.
Scry. And it's a land, so I will keep it. Go. I'm at 14.
Dress. So Courser, Johnny times 2, and an Elspeth. So here, he has a blue land on top. Next turn he can just play Jason plus it. And it's going to cut my clock down significantly. I think that's what I'm the most worried about. So I think I'm just going to take one of the Jaces.
Okay.
And then I'll pass the turn.
Alright, I'll play Courser. Well, I guess we play it. Gain a life. We're at 15. Go ahead.
Now we're going to dreadbore the Courser. Attack for 4.
11.
I'll go to 15 and play Caryatid and then pass.
Okay. Scry, and you're up.
You have 5 cards?
Yes.
Alright, so we're going to start off with attacking.
I'm at 7.
So I can cast this, which I think is going to be my best bet. So I believe he had a Chimera. That's fine. Alright, so we're going to
Stay the same.
stay at 15. And then I'm going to play a Siren's Entity. And step trigger.
Yeah, it's game. Alright, we're back for game 5, and hopefully I will have a playable hand this time. That is, again, a one-land mulligan. So, alright, we are back for 6. Well, we have lands, so I can maybe cast cards this game, and I am excited to keep.
Well, I'm going to keep, but I'm going to be hurting myself a lot.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with a Scry. Oh, man. I'm going to go ahead and bottom that since we need to draw lands. So, go. Even though it is good, I just want to hit my land drops.
17. Okay, so I think here we actually just want to take the Caryatid, which leaves him with just, you know, a handful of actual cards that he can take to draw that to cast the Curious Follower. Plus, even if he does, my deck is just mono removal. Good.
Scry, and it is not a land, so we'll bottom it. Go.
Oh, jeez. Yep, I got another one. We'll go to 14.
So do I.
You drew another Caryatid. So I think that we still are just on the same plan here. Just take the Caryatid and hope that we draw into some removal. Go ahead.
Go. It's not going well for us here.
13. Go.
Go.
Oh, man.
Just draw a dragon or something?
I mean, I have a dragon, but I have a third mana confluence.
I mean, we're just gonna die to the. I'm just gonna die to the dragon.
Yeah, so we're just gonna go to 10 and attack you to 16, and it's your turn.
Oh, I'll attack for 2.
8.
And actually, it's even worth attacking for 2. Honestly, I don't know how we can possibly win this game. Just like I can cast Voral or I can attack for 2. And I honestly don't think putting Voral in play like does anything. So I'm just gonna attack for 2 and try to lock him out of casting more spells. Go.
Well, if I can do this. Go to 3, or go to 5, and then he'll attack me on to 3. I think I'm fine with that. So we're just going to Temple. And I'm going to bottom this, because I don't need it anymore. And I can't really cast it at this point. Go to 5.
Yeah, I have 0 outs, so that's game. Okay. Yeah. All right, we are back for the conclusion of our
epic.
Yeah, epic match. I don't know if it was that epic. Fortunately, my deck refused to cough up the lands, and we kind of just got steamrolled a bit. But I think there were still some interesting things. Tell us how good Mana Confluence was in your deck.
Mana Confluence was so bad. I'm pretty sure that I did more damage to myself over the 5 games than you did total.
I'm pretty sure that's correct, yeah.
Mainly with Mana Confluence. Like, Temple of Malady was, like, you know, the key to bring the mana base for this type of deck together. And now that we have it, you actually don't need Mana Confluence. Like, I wish it would just been, like, 2 Swamps and 2 Forests.
Yeah, I think that's true. As for my deck, I mean, I knew going in that like my deck would be better if I had like a mana guy early in the game, and unfortunately, I just didn't have the luxury of having that. And some of the games, I just had to, you know, I kept a lot of hands that were land light, but I think you have to do that against a deck playing Thoughtseize a lot of times.
Yeah.
And in fact, we actually drew out of it a couple of games. If you didn't have some timely discard, I might have actually had a shot at some of those games.
Yeah, I really like, you know, having to keep like some sketchy hands against Thoughtseize decks, because like the games are usually going to go long, and like you're going to have time to draw into the things that you need. Mm-hmm. Plus, you can't really afford to short yourself cards by mulliganing when you can just keep a hand and draw into the cards that you need. The difference is with a deck like this, cards like Rakdos' Return, Sire of Insanity, and Stormbreath Dragon can put the game away much quicker than what you would expect out of like a mono black Devotion that's usually playing Thoughtseize. So it can be a little bit riskier to keep those hands, but I still think you have to. Yeah, and I also think that like Stormbreath put the games away like really fast against this deck to the point where like it may seem like you just can't beat a Stormbreath, but I actually don't think that that's the case. So like in the first game, if you had a Stormbreath Dragon and you actually drew in at the end, it was, you know, a little too late. And I think like a lot of the issue with Stormbreath was the fact that I actually just had nothing going on.
So you had already hit me for like 8 to 10 with Corsair crew fixes, while I'm basically just playing nothing. So that really amplifies the damage that like Rakdos Return and Stormbreath Dragon do. Even though they are great cards, I don't think that they're quite as devastating as these games showed. Ultimately, I'm not sure what needs to change from this deck, if anything at all. I don't feel like I really got to see that much of the deck, and how it would play out normally. So it's hard to say. Like maybe it needs a 26th land, but I figured with like 8 mana guys that 25 was probably fine. And my curve isn't that high really. Like I have 3 Elspeths and 3 Ajani's and the Archangels, but everything else is you know, 3s and 2s mostly. So I don't know. I guess I have some 4s, but.
I think the 26th land would actually be really good, mainly because the majority of your low end, like, isn't really going to do anything unless you start to get to your top end. So, like, unlike, you know, other decks where, you know, they have a top end, but they also have, you know, just like removal spells they can cast to keep themselves alive to get to that point. Like, we really don't in this strategy. It's just all about getting to 4, 5, and 6 as fast as possible, and every single time. So maybe a 26th land would be better, or find some other cards that might interact, you know, in the early to mid game in those times that we don't have the extra land. Yeah,
I mean, that was kind of the point of Jace, was to dig for lands if I need to, or interact otherwise. But
even then, without the mana guy, turn 4 might be a little slow.
Right. So yeah, maybe like even Elvish Mystic is a good idea, just to have another mana source.
Yeah.
And that lets you play like a Corsair on turn 2 or something as well, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, it's possible that a 26th land or some more mana guys would help, or just having them is also key.
Do you have to draw lands to win Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, so drawing them or drawing the mana guys also key to victory with this deck. But yeah, unfortunately I didn't get to see a lot more, so it's hard to say like what worked and what didn't work. So there were a lot of interesting things, and like it's hard to play like a synergy-based deck against a extremely removal-heavy deck, and actually get your synergies online. So you know, I'd be interested to see against like some of the more maybe like against like a deck like Mono Blue, for example, where they're not like directly attacking what you're doing. If some of the combos in the deck, like the Horizon Chimera combo or the Sage combo, if any of those have a chance to actually shine. I'd be interested to see that.
I mean, I honestly feel like just Corsair and Archangel together are, you know, more than good enough. Like we saw from the junk decks that popped up towards the end of the last standard that like Reed Duke was championing, that, you know, just Corsair Archangel is pretty, you know, good enough to just beat most decks anyways.
Yeah, like I don't think that you want to include combos just for the sake of having the combo. I actually just feel like Fathom Mage and Horizon Chimera are maybe good enough just anyway, because Horizon Chimera also triggers Archangel, and Fathom Mage is actually just very good with Ajani as well for drawing 3 cards. So
Fathom Mage does seem pretty sweet, and kind of sad that the only time you had it was when you were already pummeling me and didn't need it. But
well, I needed that extra 1/1 to attack. So
fair.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and let us know what you think. And anything that you want to see moving forward. I know a lot of people last time wanted to see a deck with Keranos, which I was almost going to be playing a Keranos deck, but opted to go with Ajani instead. So maybe we'll have something like that for next time. But yeah, if there's any other new cards you want to see, let us know, and we'll see if we can come up with something to just battle with those cards and see if they can live up to their hype or not.
Yeah, for sure. This weekend is the Journey into Nyx pre-release.
Yep.
So make sure you hit up your local game store to battle some Magic, or if you happen to be here in sunny, beautiful Roanoke, Virginia, you can come hang out at the Star City Games Game Center, play the pre-release. I know Brian will be there. I know myself will be there battling some Magic. And next week is going to be the week leading up to the first standard tournaments with Journey into Nyx actually legal. So we're going to be in Cincinnati playing with some awesome new cards, and hopefully we'll have some this week to play for you guys next week on camera. You guys, you know, just let us know what you want to see in the comments. We're definitely going to be putting stuff together and doing some battling.
Battling? Are you sure? I don't think we've done that before. But
never. We just don't battle.
No.
So thanks for stopping by this week and hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you later.